Today we're going to learn lesson 6.6, which is discounts and markups. Now lesson 6.5 was percent changes of increase and decrease. And discounts and markups are just percent changes of increase and decrease on items that we buy. Okay, so I'm sure many of us have heard about a discount before. And a discount is a decrease in the original price of an item. So if there's a sale on an item, that's considered a discount. A markup is something that we might not have heard of before. So when stores have t-shirts or shoes or something to sell to you, they don't sell it to you for the price that it costs them to make it. Otherwise, they don't make any money. Okay, and that's kind of the whole point. So markups, in order to make a profit, stores charge more than what they pay the factory or the manufacturer to make it. Okay, the increase from what the store pays to the selling price is called that markup. Okay, so a store might make a shirt for 50 cents, but they don't sell it to you for 50 cents. They want to make a profit, so they sell it to you for $5. Okay, so that's kind of the idea of what a markup is. Okay, so let's do an example where we have to find a sale price. Okay, and this is something that will definitely come handy to you in the real world. So if, let's say, something is 40% off, but it doesn't tell you what that new price is, you can calculate and use this method to determine how much you're going to be paying for that item. Okay, one of the things that I forgot to include on this example was the percent, and this was 25% off. Okay, it was in the picture and I forgot to include the picture. So here, the original price of the shorts is $35. What is the sale price? Okay, now there's two different steps that we can do to solve this. So let's talk about method one. Okay, this is going to be using that percent proportion. Okay, so the discount is 25%. So we set up that proportion. I always like to set up that percent part first. So 25% is 25 over 100. Okay, we want to know what is 25% of 35. What is the money that we're going to be getting off of the price of these shorts? Okay, so we want to know what is 25%. So we don't know what is 25% of $35. Okay, we are going to solve this using cross products. We will take 25 times 35, which is equal to 100 times x. Get x by itself by dividing by 100. 25% of $35 is going to be $8.75. Okay, and I found that number just by plugging into my calculator, 25 times 35, and then divided by 100. Okay, but this does not answer the question, because that question asks for the sale price, not how much money you're saving. Okay, so now we have an extra step here. If it is a discount, okay, that means it's a decrease in the original price. So when we have a decrease, we're going to be subtracting. So we take our original price of $35 and we're going to subtract that 25% that's the price is on sale for, and then we are going to get the final price that we have to pay. When we plug that into our calculator, we get $26.25. Okay. However, there is another method. Okay, and I've kind of talked to you about this method before. If you're getting a discount of 25%, so you're getting 25% off, what that means, since percent is out of 100, is that if you're getting 25% off, that you're only paying 75% of that price. Okay, so to save us that step of having to subtract at the end, we could also do x over 35 is equal to 75 over 100. And this is going to give us x as our final answer, that sale price, because we want to know if we're paying 75%, what is 75% of 35? So again, we're just going to use those cross products. 75 times 35 is equal to 100 times x. Get x by itself by dividing by 100. We get that sale price to be $26.25. So as you see, we can get the same answer two different ways. One is a little less work, but we have to understand this whole method of if you're getting 25% off, then you're paying 75%. Okay, and this only really works with the discounts. Okay, not so much the markups. Okay, so that example explained to us how to find the sale price. Okay, here's a different kind of example. We're given the sale price and we're given the percentage off, and we want to find the original price of that item. Okay, so we're missing that original price. So if it's 40% off, we need to think to ourselves, what percent are we paying? Well, percent is out of 100, so 100 minus 40% means that we are paying 60%. Okay, so this price is 60% of whatever that original price was. Okay, so this price, $33, is 60%. So I always like to set up that percent fraction first. Okay, this price is 60% of some number. Okay, so $33 is 60%. So 33 should go on the top where the 60% would go. And it's of some number X we don't know yet. Okay, we're just going to use those cross products. 33 times 100 is equal to 60 times X. We want to get that X by itself, so we're going to undo times 60 by dividing by 60. X is going to be equal to, I plug in 33 times 100, and then divide that by 60, $55. Okay, so when we're trying to find an original price, we first have to decide how much percent are we paying if it's 40% off by subtracting it from 100%, because percent is always out of 100. And then we just solve for that whole, okay, because we're given the part. We know that 60% of that whole is $33. All right, the next type of example is going to be finding a selling price. Okay, so now we're going back to the idea of markups. So the store makes that item for some amount of money, and then they have to increase the price in order to make a profit. Okay, so this next example is going to talk about an increase in price, that markup. So a store pays $70 for a bicycle. The percent of markup is 20%. We want to know what is that selling price. What are they going to sell that bike for? Okay, so we're going to use a percent proportion, as always. Okay, I always like to start with my percent fraction. So 20% is 20 over 100. Okay, the store pays $70. We want to find out what is 20% of that $70. Okay, so we want to find what that 20% of $70 is. So our X goes on the top, 70 goes on the bottom. We do 70 times 20 equals 100 times X, get X by itself by dividing by 100. We get X is equal to $14. However, this does not answer the question, okay, because this just tells us that our markup is $14. The question is asking what is the price that they're going to sell it for. Now, markups are percent of increase, meaning we're going to have to take that original number and add. Okay, so we'll take 70 plus that $14 markup to get the selling price of $84. Okay. At this time, I want you to pause the video, okay, and try these next three problems on your own. Okay, I want you to look at keywords such as discount, on sale, discount, what is the original price, what is the sale price, what is the selling price, markup. Okay, use all these keywords in order to help determine what kind of proportion we're setting up. Okay, from our examples above. Once you are done solving, obviously resume the video so you can check your answers and correct any mistakes that you have. All right, so the on your own number one. The original price of a skateboard is $50. The sale price includes a 20% discount. What is the sale price? Okay, remember two different ways that we can do this. We could set it up as finding 20% of 50. Okay, and then subtracting that number from 50 at the end. However, I don't like all those extra steps. Okay, so I'm not going to solve it that way. I'm going to solve it the other way, but your answer should be the same as my answer, even if you solved it this way. Okay, so I'm going to say that if it's a 20% discount, you pay 80%. Okay, so I'm going to set it up as, let's find out what 80% of 50 is. I want to do that using my cross products. So 50 times 80 equals 100 times x, divide by 100 on both sides. I get my price to be $40. Okay, now if I would have solved it this way, same exact idea. I would do 50 times 20 divided by 100. I would get x is equal to 10 over here. Okay, and since it's a discount, I would then have to subtract 50 minus 10. Okay, so either way, you would both get $40. It is your preference for discounts how you want to do that. My preference is this one over here because it's just one less step of having to subtract at the end. Number 2, the discount on a DVD is 50%. It's on sale for $10. What is the original price of the DVD? Okay, well, if it was 50% off, that's going to be my percent fraction. Okay, and 50% is that $10 because you paid 50% for that price. Okay, so we are looking for that original price, which is our whole. So we do 100 times 10 equals 50 times x. Divide both sides by 50. We get x is equal to $20. And since it was a nice number, it was 50%, that might have been easy mental math for you because if it's 50% off and you paid $10, you're just doubling it to get that original price. But the important part of actually solving the proportion is for in case this is like a 37% and it's not that easy mental math. Okay, so make sure we are showing all steps for here. Last example, example number 3. This is going to be dealing with a markup. Okay, so the store pays $75 for the aquarium. The markup is 20%. So they paid $75 to make that aquarium, and they're going to mark it up 20%, and we want to find that selling price. Okay. So here for this example, we want to find out what is 20% of $75. So we're going to set up that proportion. 20% is 20 over 100. And we want to know what is 20% of $75. Okay, so the x is with that 20%. $75 is our whole. Cross products. We take 20 times 75 equals 100 times x. Get x by itself by dividing by 100. We get x is equal to $15. Okay, but remember this x is only the 20%, so this x is only the markup. It's not the final answer. Okay, a markup is a percent increase, which means we have to add it to our costing price. Okay, so it costs the store $75. They want to mark it up $15 so that they make a profit. We will get the final selling price of $90. As always, go back to any parts of the video that you need to review if you had any questions. The biggest thing here is just making meaning of what the question's asking for. Okay, so if they're marking up the price, it's an increase. If it's a discount, they're decreasing. There's different ways you can do discounts, remember. There's the 2 different methods, finding the 20% and then subtracting at the end, or going off of the percent that you pay. Whichever you like better or you prefer, that is fine.